All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, the reality probably has already set in for the San Francisco 49ers after their heartbreaking loss last night in the NFC Championship game to their rivals in the Los Angeles Rams. But for the 49ers, we've seen this story play out before in regards to quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo coming up short in the postseason for them. The Niners defense spotted Jimmy G a 10-point lead heading into the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 54, only to be outscored 21 to nothing in that frame by the Kansas City Chiefs. And that narrative once again reared its ugly head last night in the NFC Championship game as San Francisco was unable to seal the deal versus the Rams, who outscored the Niners 13 to nothing in the final quarter to win the contest 20 to 17. Now, for the game last night, Garoppolo was 16 of 30 passing for 232 yards with a pair of touchdowns, and of course, that costly pick at the end of the game, which pretty much ends and also sums up Jimmy G's time in the Bay Area. Kyle Shanahan, the Niners head coach, and the 49ers, in my opinion, have gone as far with Jimmy G as they ever will, as he is a quarterback who does not make the players around him better, but he relies on the guys around him to prop him up. Garoppolo came to the 49ers at a time when Shanahan, along with general manager John Lynch, were establishing their program in Frisco. And like many other NFL organizations, the Niners looked to someone from the New England Patriots organization to help. But in regards to quarterbacks, the Niners thought that they were getting the heir apparent to Tom Brady. But instead, they got a player in Jimmy G that's not even close to being in Brady's league. And I know the thing is, Tom Brady's really set the bar so high for a lot of people, but nonetheless, Jimmy G's not that guy. I mean, Garoppolo, for me, he just can't get it done. I mean, you look at the Niners as a whole. The Niners, they have themselves a championship defense, arguably the best tight end in the NFL in George Kittle, the ultimate hybrid in Debo Samuel on offense, and the best offensive line in the game. But they're lacking at the most important and critical position on the football field, which is quarterback. And as an organization, the 49ers know a thing or two about the importance of having the quality quarterbacks. I mean, you think about some of the legends that have played quarterback for the 49ers over the years, just to name a few: John Brody, Joe Montana, and of course, Steve Young. And for any of us who still believed in Jimmy G, to me, that faded last night when, Gigolo Jimmy G decided to do his Magic Johnson impersonation at the end of the game and go with the no look, over the shoulder pass. And that's not going to get it done. We saw the Niners invest so much last year in the draft in quarterback Trey Lance. They moved up to get him. And I do believe that his era with the 49ers has officially begun. Trey Lance did see some time briefly this year due to injuries to Jimmy G, but I think right now it's going to be his team in 2022. Now, Garoppolo has 1 year left on his deal, and he's set to make just north of $24 million. But I mean, I think at this point, if the 49ers are willing to just take a low round pick, I'm sure that there will be an NFL team next year that would take a flyer on Jimmy G. And for Kyle Shanahan, he'll have to do something similar to what his colleague and Rams head coach Sean McVay did, which is to cut bait with a quarterback that can help you make the playoffs, but he can't elevate his game. And of course, Jared Goff, once upon a time, was a first round pick of the Rams, not by Sean McVay, but by the man he replaced in Jeff Fisher. And yes, the Rams did make a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, but we saw when the injury to Todd Gurley, the knee injury really took away from Goff's effectiveness because he relied on that running game. And then, of course, last offseason, we saw the Rams and the Lions make the trade for Matt Stafford. And of course, the rest is history. And you look at the Niners as a whole, I mean, they have everything in place to make that Super Bowl run next season. You look at this pass rush. led by the likes of Nick Bosa up front. You have a quality D. You're strong at linebacker, of course. People are going to question the secondary, especially after that dropped interception last night, but they're still solid. And, with what you can do on offense with your receivers, with your running backs, with your offensive line, with your tight end, to me, I think Shanahan have to do and Lynch, they have to do everything this off season in order to get over that hump. Uh, what you cannot do always shows up at the most inopportune time. And we've seen it from several teams throughout this postseason that have been eliminated. If your quarterback play is questionable, it comes up and it rears its head at the most inopportune time. We saw it with the Tennessee Titans in the divisional round, and we saw it with Jimmy G last night. To me, Jimmy G was walking that fine line of the razor's edge throughout the postseason. He got away with it against the Dallas Cowboys because he missed some opportunities to put that game away, and then he also allowed the Cowboys back into the game with his costly errors. We saw it last week against the Green Bay Packers, as well as the special teams of the defense bailed him out, but he just couldn't get it done. And if you keep rolling the dice enough, you're gonna roll. You're gonna roll snake eyes, and that's what happened with Jimmy G last night. That's what happened with the 49ers. And I think it's time for them to cut bait, go in a different direction, because I really feel they have gotten as far with Jimmy Garoppolo as they are going to get. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.